I do want to talk to you this morning about our church's history of outreach and caring. And as you know, our stewardship focus this year is on the ministries of comparing and compassion, ministries such as congregational care and many other outreach and mission ministries that are supported by our church and therefore by the budget of our church. And during the past few weeks, we've heard some great stories from Johnanna and Kim as they shared with us their experience with some of these incredible ministries. And I could very easily take the time here to do the same. We as a congregation do put a tremendous amount of time and energy and financial resources through many incredible outreach ministries. And I could speak for hours, honestly, about all that we do. But I don't want to do that right now. Instead, I want us to take a minute to think a little bit bigger and think about what we want our church to be. More specifically, I want us to think about what role we want our church to play in our community. And we can feel free to define community as big as we want to. And while we're doing that, I want us to consider two different images of what our church can be. One is an image of a thermometer, and the other is an image of a thermostat. Now, I'm going to share with you, this is not an original concept. This is nothing that I've come up with. On my own, I'm stealing here with these two images, and I'm stealing from Martin Luther King. And we heard Kim, in her speech last week, reference Martin Luther King quite a bit in her stories, and I'm going to do the same here. This is an image that he used on many times to illustrate what a church could be in its community. It could be a thermostat or a thermometer. First, the thermometer. A thermometer is simply a device that measures the temperature of the environment that it's in, and a church can be like that. It can simply reflect the temperature of the society or the community in which it lives. It doesn't really impact change in any way. It's simply a reflection of what's going on around it. But a church can also be a thermostat. And like a thermometer, a thermostat also knows the temperature of the environment that it's in, but it has the ability to change it, to transform it. So a church that's like a thermostat is consistently stepping out and serving the community in which it works in which it exists in. It is, so to speak, taking opportunities to turn up the heat. So I'll ask us this morning, what do we want our church to be in this community? A thermometer or a thermostat? Now, as we know, being a thermostat isn't easy. It takes vision and passion and dedication and hard work and, yes, financial support. And clearly, the past members of our congregation knew exactly who they wanted to be. As Johnanna shared with us 2 weeks ago, our church has a history 160 years long of consistently being a thermostat in our community, of driving change, of turning up the heat. From helping to establish the Union Gospel Mission in 1888, to establishing most recently in 2012 the Congregational Care Committee, our church's history is filled with example after example of our willingness to financially support and personally support ministries that support our community's need. But this is our church now, and it's our turn to make our own decision. So maybe it's time we relax. Maybe it's time we sit back and let other groups take the lead for a while. I mean, we've been at this for 160 years. Maybe we need a break. I mean, this is a beautiful little space we've created for ourselves. We could get very comfortable here. We could be just like that thermometer and just sit back and relax. Because honestly, sometimes that's nice being like that thermometer, just to take a break every now and then. Sometimes it's just nice being just comfortable. And as my wife can attest, most times, if given the choice between being comfortable and taking on something that's hard work, I tend to want to be comfortable. I just like it, and I can very easily let myself get very comfortable in this church. There's so much that's comforting here because it's so easy to do. This morning when I saw my two kids standing up here with tons of other kids singing songs with my wife, that was comfortable. I liked that, and I loved seeing all of the kids up here for baby celebration. That was comfortable too. And when I wander over to that strange building on occasion across the street where the youth hang out, I don't have a clue what's going on, but it seems really comfortable. It seems really nice. And when I sit in the choir loft and sing, that's comfortable too. So maybe that's what we do now. Maybe it's our turn just to relax. Let's just be comfortable so we don't have to hear about pledging and fundraising and raising the budget and coming up with new ideas for new ministries to help people and supporting new ways to grow our congregation. Let's just focus on us and let's just be comfortable. Is that what we want to do? Does that sound nice? I don't think so. I don't think that's what our congregation is. As our youth might say, and I hope I'm not too out of date, that's not how we roll. We're not good at comfortable. When we hear that 1 in 5 families in Tarrant County live below the poverty line, we're not comfortable. And when we hear that on any given day in Tarrant County, 2,200 people are homeless, we're not comfortable. And when we hear that 26% of these homeless people are children, we're not comfortable. And when we see firsthand the impact of AIDS on children in Kenya, and we know that our efforts, though great, only help a small portion of the 1 million kids that are orphaned there, we're not comfortable. And when we know that there is a large portion of our own community, our own church congregation, that aren't able to be here every Sunday because of their health situation or financial situation, but they are still longing for ways to connect to our community, we're not comfortable. So I say we do it. I say we step up once again, as we've always done, and act like that thermostat. Let's be a church that uses its resources and its talents to transform our community. Let's do as we've done before and be a thermostat and turn up the heat. God bless.